So welcome to this lecture or this tutorial. Basically what we want to do is I just want to show you how to read a JSON file in a React project. Normally when you want to work with data in React project, what you do is to build an API. But sometimes you might have your data in a JSON file. So the problem now becomes, how do you read this JSON file directly from your React without having to build a backend that reads the file and then forward it to the React as an API data. So you want to be able to read your JSON file directly from your React. So that is what I want to show you in this tutorial. So to start off with, we have to create a project. Let's create a new React project. So I have because we will be combining React and Redux, so I have a template within Visual Studio that allows me to create a React and Redux project. So it's going to be an ASP.NET Core Web API web application, but let's see. Okay, let's just create what's the name of this project? Let's call it course landing page. It just let's call it landing page. Course landing page. Let's just call it course landing page. And then let's select a location for this project. We'll go over to, normally what I do is to select a location for this project. Let's just go to my Udemy courses and see if I can have since this is a React, let's go and create that within our React. Let's use this React practice stuff. So let's do this and see. This should bring us this. So what you want to select is this template. You can see you have a template for React and Redux, you have a template for React, you have a template for Angular, and then Razor class library and all these other model view controller and all the rest. So, but this is basically what I want, the React and Redux, because I'll be reading my JSON file from my Redux from my Redux store. That's where I'll be reading the JSON file from. So let's select this and let's create. So we are creating, basically it's a React and Redux, but with ASP.NET Core. It's an ASP.NET Core with React and Redux template. So I think it's the easiest way for creating React and Redux project. So basically once we create this, so we've created this. So I think what else should we do? So we've created our project. I think the next thing to do is to, because this project has it's installing require some of the required packages. So what I do normally is, since this is basically the part of, it's an ASP.NET Core project with React template. So this is the React part of the application. Client app is the React part of the application. So what I normally do is that I need to come over here and remove some of these items, because I don't need all this. This is just a simple stuff I'm building. I don't need all this stuff here. So I don't need all these items here. So what I do is just to remove them. Let's just remove these guys. Let's remove all these guys. Then let's remove, okay, let's leave. Oh, I've kind of like removed even my components. Let's add let's see, let's add back this folder called component folder. So I add this just remove all these guys. I'm going to create something. I'm going to create my own version of what I want to be there. So what I do is I like to remove all this Bootstrap stuff, all this stuff, because I'm going to import. Oh, so yeah, let's remove all this. We'll remove these as well. So I think we are left with our, this is basically what I want to have. So I think what I might want to do now is to come over inside this component folder and create another folder. So I have basically all the stuff I need, apart from coming over to this configuration file and removing these guys. So this is basically all I have now. And then come over here. I need to remove some stuff. I don't need this React Bootstrap. I don't need this React Router Bootstrap, and I don't need this version of Bootstrap. Yeah, so I just remove them. I need to like update my React scripts. It's just the basic stuff I'm doing before launching straight into the application. I need to update this React script. So let me see how to do that. Let me just see how to update React script. Is this command that will allow me update React script? That is what I'm trying to pick up, and it's a command that will allow me to update React script. Update React scripts. I think it's npm updates. I think it's npm npm update React script. So let's just update this React script. So I think all I need to do to update the React script is to come over here and open a command prompt and do, let's close this for now, and do something of this nature. Npm let's just uninstall that React script. Uninstall. Let's just uninstall the React script, then we will reinstall it back. Let's see if it will work. I'm trying to uninstall it and then install it back later on. That's the approach I feel like taking. So let's install and let's do npm install React script save. This should install a newer version of React script if I'm not mistaken, and then this will allow me to install other stuff. So this is just the basic general preparation that I'm doing. So this should install that for us. We are still installing what we want. So this has been updated. React script has been updated. So I think the next thing I need to do is that I want to install Bootstrap. npm install Bootstrap. Save. I need a copy of Bootstrap there. And because I don't want to, well, it's just a simple project to show you something. I don't really want to start wasting much time. So our Bootstrap has been installed. So what I want to now do is let's install npm install node SAS save. I think this has been installed. So what I want to now do is to there is this stuff I need to install again. I need to install JSON loader. I need to install JSON loader. This is basically the package I've installed. JSON loader. JSON loader. That is the package JSON loader that I'm installing. So if I install this package, this should get me going. So what I want to now do is to let's bring in our React. So what I want to, okay, let's come over here and create a folder called home. Let's create another folder called course, because it's just a simple project to display all my courses, Udemy courses. So having done this, let's create our home controller. If I go to home and create a controller called home, it's going to be a simple, I don't want this to be complex. So what I want to do is to, let's create a simple controller, a component called, this is going to be our component JavaScript. Our React component is usually a JavaScript file. Let's call it React home component. And then within this home component, we have, let's create our header sub folder. Header sub. And then within the header sub folder, we have the, within the home subfolder, we have the header component, and then we have the footer component. That's the way I like doing this stuff. You can do it any way you like. Footer component, and then let's create the body component. Body component, So what I want to do next is to come over to this course. Let's create our course component. That course component, I don't want to make things complex. Course component. Then we have a course list item. Let's create a folder called course sub. Within here, let's add course list item component. So this is it will just display a list of all the whole courses. So what I want to now do is to come over here within our store. Let's create our course store. This will handle course list. Let's just call it course list because this is where we will be course list. This is our store. So having done all this, what I now need to do is, having done all this, I think the thing I need to now do is to okay, let's now open this. Let's open this within, let's save this and open this guy within. Let's open this guy within. Let's open this guy. I want to open it using I want to open it using Visual Studio Code because that's where I like working once I've created my project and all the stuff my project needs. I prefer to go over to open with Visual Studio and work with Visual Studio, because Visual Studio, that's the way I like doing it, And now come over, this my folder. Yeah, this is my folder, and this is my, first of all, this app component. What I want to do here is to create my React component and call it app. Yeah. So I need to clear up for this. And I like using standard React class-based React component. That's what I like using. Standard class-based, this is class-based React component. Or is simple. I don't know. It's simple. I don't like, people like complicating things. But me, I don't generally like to, let's see if we can rename this. Let's copy this. Me, I don't generally like to complicate things. I like making things simpler. So this is my home component. Standard class-based component. That's what I like using. And we have a package that helps you create all those. That's what I'm using to create all these components, you see. So I know some people will be complaining that my font is small. I don't really care. So we'll come over to here. We'll copy this. Come over here. And then I need to grab all this. Yeah, so that is how to create a class based. I'm just creating all the components that I need. For my footer, let's just leave this. Let's just create this one because so that we don't waste much time. I don't want to waste much time. Good, yeah. Grab these guys. So let's rename this. Sorry, my terminal is like second nice. So these are all the React components that I need for these code, yeah. I have to clear of these bastards. So I think I've got all my React components sorted. So what I would like to do is to import my home here, I need to import my home controller here. So we do an import from component. No, I need to, let me see. It's taking me, okay, from component and home component. So this is basically the stuff I need to import, and then come over here. I like React. I just like React, building React applications, to be honest. Yeah, so if I come to home component and let's come to home component and then do hello world. So if I run my application now, my application should run properly. All things being equal, my application should run properly. Let's see. It should bring up hello world for us. It's compiling. Let's just patiently wait for it. Yeah, as you can see, hello world. So our application is working perfectly well. So what do I need to do? The thing I need to do now is to come over. I need to do some work within within my store. I'll come over to this place. I have something I need to like grab from somewhere. So I just need to grab this. There's this stuff I need to grab. Yeah, this is my course list. I need to grab this guy. So this is basically this is where my list. I need to get this list, and that is where that is basically where my JSON loader comes in. So what I need to do now is, this is basically my basic React store for my list course list. So I'm not teaching you Redux here, but this is basically within Redux how I'm going to read my JSON file. So let me just get that JSON file. Let's get that JSON file. So let's stop this application. I want to get that JSON file. So let's put our JSON file somewhere within our store. Within our store, let's create a folder called data. Then we need to go grab our JSON file. Let's add an existing item. I'll go grab my JSON file. My JSON file is somewhere here. Let me see if it is within my downloads. Yeah, I have my JSON file here. So these are my JSON file. So, but I think I need to update the content of that JSON file to match what I want. I have a better content here with properly formatted. So this is a better content here. I like this one because this one has been purified. This is a better one. As you can see, it's small case. It starts with small case, and camel case. It's camel case oriented. So I prefer this. So this is our JSON file. So we want to read this JSON file now and use it within our Redux store. So first of all, what I need to do is to come over to this stuff here. So within here I have my data. So I need to grab my like I said, we installed JSON loader. So we will be using JSON loader to read our file. So let me just grab that JSON loader. So this is basically what we will be using to read our file. It's called JSON loader. So I need to get the content, the location of my file, and this is okay. It doesn't pick it up. It doesn't pick it up. So I need to. It's going to be data. It's going to be data. Then it's going to be CSV JSON. So that's the name of my file. .json. Hope this works. Something of this nature. So this is basically our cost list. I can take this guy and use that here. So this JSON loader, we should load this. Basically JSON loader loading my cost list. So what I can do is to, yeah, I think that is it. What I can do is I might decide to use console. Let's put a console here to check to log our JSON loader, the content of our JSON loader. So basically I installed a package called JSON loader, and this is basically how I am calling this is how I'm getting my JSON loader. First of all, do JSON loader, and then the location of your file, which is this should load your JSON into this variable constant, and then I'm using that here. So this is basically here I'm trying, all I'm doing here is to, this is just a basic structure of Redux store for my cost list that allows me to fetch. I will do go grab a copy of my standard a copy of my React a copy of my React. I'll be doing a React tutorial, full React course, so that should be beneficial to you. But in the meantime, this is all we've got here. The next thing we need to do is I need to come over to this cost component and do some work here. I need to do component will mount, and then I need to, but first I need to kind of like get some, there are some stuff my React there are some stuff my React I need there are some stuff my React the React part of my application would need, so I need to grab them. And that is basically, these are basically React and Redux part of things. So let's just update this with some of these items. So, and I need to get these I need to grab this action creator, and I need to do this. So basically what I'm doing is that before component mounts, I want to call this function that sends a request to fetch all my courses from this JSON file. So that is basically, this is the function here. So it calls this function. So this function triggers this action. This dispatches this message, so, and once you fetched all your data, you dispatch this message to update the store. So this, you're updating the store. Yeah, we need to do some work here. Let's go to this store configuration. I need to kind of like bring that cost list. So this is how I'm bringing the cost lists here within my configuration stuff. And then of course I need to do this as well. So yeah, I need to update this as well. So I think that is all. This is basically what we want to do. Okay, we don't have this all we have is cost list, so we don't have that stuff there. So I think that is all for now. So from here now, from my cost list component, once my component mounts, I'm going to call this to fetch all the data and then update everything. So I think we can try this and see if we can try doing something of the, but before then I need to bring this into my home component. Well, this course component should be in the body. I need to bring that component here. So I need to import from yeah, from course. I need to bring this course component. So let's call this our course component. So this should be what we have inside here. Yeah, something else. So I'm bringing my course component course component here, and this body should be within my home component. This my the home and the this is my home component. So yeah, I should be bringing both the body and the header and the footer, but for now let's just bring the body, you know, from remove sheet. Okay. This is my body. This is my body component. Yeah. Okay. So basically, my body, as you can see, my course component is now linked to my body component, which is equally now linked to my home component. That's basically the way I want to structure this. So let's start playing with our application. If I start my application now, it should attempt to fetch this data from. I just want to see if my course list, if I'm able to fetch this data from my JSON file. So that's what we want to test now. Excuse me. Let's see. We just want to see. Let's inspect our console. What is it saying? Uncut error, cannot find module. So it's having problem getting to our file. So that is the problem. We cannot find module. So we're having problem with getting to that file. I think that is So let's let's move this. I'm trying to sort these out. Can't resolve. Let's leave this for now. Model not found. Can't resolve costly. Okay, I know where the problem is coming from. So go to cost components. This is where the problem is coming from. Yes. It's let me see. Go to cost list. Let me see. Is it reading it? I need to pass it. I need to do JSON pass. Let me just see what we are getting at. Just want to see if we are what we are picking up from. Let's refresh this. See. Okay. I think what I'm trying to do is to let's do JSON pass here. Because I think this loader is returning a strange. This loader is returning a strange, as you can see. So what I need to do is to do big JSON pass and then just cut this and drop into this area. Let's see what happens. Let's put it in JSON output. Object pass on. I want to see, is it even calling this function? Am I even calling this? Am I even getting up to this position? Let me see if I'm getting even up to this point. Am I getting to this point? Let's remove these guys and see. Are we getting up to this point? Let's see. Let's just see. Are we even getting up to that point? Yeah, we are getting up to that point. We are hitting this area. Then why? Let me now try. I It seems if we do this, we don't hit. Yeah, I think this, we are not getting that stuff from here. Okay, I know what to do. Let me just see if I can grab just one JSON file. Let me just see if I can grab just one of these. Let me just see if I can grab one of these and do what we can. If I take this, so and come over to this area and do this, gets us source any, returns a string. If I paste, I do something that work. So this is basically what I want to see. Costly. Seems to have stopped complaining. So if I copy this guy and drop, I just want to see what I'm getting. Just want to see what I'm getting. Yeah. Okay, because that thing is not, this is let's just see. We try, well, let me just remove this and drop only this and see what happens. Doesn't solve the problem. It's expecting, that's the problem. It is expecting a JSON and passing a string. That's the problem. It is this is my JSON. It is expecting that my JSON. Let me see. That's the JSON. But it seems that this guy is expecting, what this guy is expecting is a bit. Let's put this stuff this way and see. It seems to me that it's expecting something different. It's expecting something different. I know what is happening. Yeah, it's expecting, it is kind of like expecting, this loader is expecting a JSON, this loader is expecting a JSON file, but it is saying something different. So that's basically why it is complaining. It expects a JSON file to be inside here. But for now, I just need to get some more. Let me just clarify some things about this JSON loader. I know the problem is it's expecting something of this nature here. It's expecting to get a JSON, something of this nature here. That is what it is expecting. It is expecting something of this nature here. It's expecting something of this nature. A, B. So this is something. This is what it's expecting. It's expecting that this should be your JSON file, but that is not really how this guy. That's not how that guy is. Let me see. But that is not really how unexpected token. So this is basically how that thing is meant to be, but it's complaining. Let's remove this JSON loader and just try this. Still complaining unexpected token. Let me just revisit the documentation for JSON loader and clarify things. So I think the problem is, let me just see if I can get another JSON loader. I don't want to. Most of those things are kind of like that thing expects us to work with it's expecting me to work with that thing seems to what we have here is not a valid so I think I've read it. I've read it. I think I've managed to read it. So what I did was just to remove that loader just to give. So what I did was to kind of like only submit the part of my file. I think that's basically the documentation is not clear. They need to update this documentation. So all I did was to kind of like solve this problem. All I need was to just push in. I removed because I've been following the documentation that says we should put in this. You see, but it has not been working. This is basically the error I've been getting. I've been getting error once I try to do this. You see, unexpected token in JSON loader. You see, that is the error I've been getting. So what I did was I've been looking at the documentation. All I did was to remove this. This thing is trial by error. I just removed this, and this was now able to kind of like read my files and get this is basically what I want to get. Yeah, so I think that is it. So this is how to read JSON file. So we read our we just use require. I didn't even use JSON loader. I just require this JSON file. Let's remove. Maybe I think maybe React is even able to do that for you. Just use required without anything. Also, so to check what we've done, let's just remove this. Let's uninstall that JSON loader and see. Let's uninstall JSON loader and see if it was React that handled that. Where's my JSON loader? Do I have JSON loader? Yeah, I have the JSON loader here. So what I want to do is to remove JSON loader. Let's remove the JSON loader and see if it was actually a React that npm on. I want to just make sure that we are not using JSON loader for that. So let's remove that JSON loader. If we remove that JSON loader and it turns out that okay, we were able to just require that file and then there's no point. So what I've just done is I've uninstalled the JSON loader. So we no longer have JSON loader here. So we no longer have JSON loader here. So let's start the application again and see. I just want to check if that particular stuff is as a result of JSON loader. We don't want to attribute something to JSON loader when it is not JSON loader in the actual sense. Maybe either JavaScript and yeah, it's not JSON loader. So I think JavaScript, that the version of JavaScript allows us to this is basically what it seems the version of JavaScript that we are using the version of JavaScript that we are using allows us to do this. Either React or JavaScript allows us to do this. It's JavaScript because this is the JavaScript file. So it allows me to require my JSON file and then use my JSON file directly. I think this is awesome. So I didn't have to make use of JSON loader. All I need to just do is to call require and then pass in the path to my JSON file, which is this, and then this should load my JSON here, and then I'm using my JSON here. So now that is all done and sorted. So we can now, if I do if I do this prop fetch list, it should get me so let me just display all the list. Let me just get all the list and then let's just conclude what we've been doing. So if I go to cost list, so this is just basically what I need to get. So I'll put this here. So I need to get this props cost list. Cost is map cost index, then cost list item. Do we have cost list item? Let's get cost list item. So we import this cost list item. So what it's doing is I'm just looping through this. So but before we continue, let's do, there's this Bootstrap stuff we need to tidy up. We need to update this guy with our Bootstrap so that we'll be able to use the functionalities of our Bootstrap. So now the next thing I need to do is just to, within my cost list item, what do I need to do? I just need to, so this here we are passing, this just, here I'm passing in all the courses as a property to this component. So if I come to this component, I can do something of this nature. I don't want to waste much time, so we can do these props dot course dot title. So we just want to display the title. Now that's what I'm doing here. So let me recap what I'm doing here. All I need to do is I'm looping through all the courses, because from my Redux store, if I get these courses here, I should kind of like assign it to this, and then I'm dispatching another message, to update my store. This is my store here, initial state of my, this is basically my store. So I'm dispatching a message to update this store with these courses. So this is basically the part of the Redux store that handles that. As you can see, for this action type, perform this. So I'm just updating my store. This Redux store, I'm updating my store, this store, with this fresh item here. So that is also, if I come over here, I should see, if I come over here, so what I'm doing here is that as I'm to render this, already my props has what this cost list, and then within this cost list I have my courses, and then within my courses I'm map. What I'm map is kind of like to loop through. We are using map to loop through this an array. I'm using map to loop through this array, and then I'm, for each item in the array, I'm displaying this. So that, so hopefully if we refresh this now, why is it complaining again? This module cannot resolve course list item component in. So let's just sort that out. It's complaining about this course list item component. Is it not that component? It's the same component. Okay, maybe I think yeah, they are in, okay, they are not in the same folder. They are not in the same folder. So let's just solve that issue. So I think this should solve the problem now. Yeah, so as you can see, all I just did was to just display the title of this. This is a React. This is basically a React component, Bootstrap. So I think the thing I might need to do is to do class name, column. Let's just put them in 4 column 4, something of this nature. So this should, yes, you see, this basically all the titles have been displayed here. So that's basically how to read the JSON file, how to read data in the JSON file, update your Redux store, and then use that. So this is basically what I wanted to achieve, exactly this. So we've read the data in our JSON file, and we've used it to kind of like display this list of course titles. So I think that is all. I don't want the, but I think the problem was that we tried to recap what we were doing. I think the problem is I wanted to use JSON loader to read my file, but it turns out that I could easily just read my JSON file by requiring my JSON file and assigning it to this course list. So this, I think it's more elegant. There's no point using JSON loader when you can just call your JSON file from using the required method. It's kind of like I was thinking I could use the JSON loader, but it turns out I didn't have to make use of the JSON loader after all. So I think that is all for now. So thank you very much for taking this course. And at the end of the course, this is basically what we had. It's a simple React. That'll be my React course will be coming out very soon. So be able to pick that up. But this is just, I like building React applications. It's something I enjoy doing. Yeah, thank you. Bye.